Okay, so now that you've had a chance to work on your DACUM, it's time to look at some best practices in DACUMs, which will help you continue developing and revising your DACUM. Number one best practice, you have goals. Goals are general, broad statements of what a student can do at the end of your course. Number two, objectives. Objectives are specific statements of what a student can do by the end of the course. Number three, verb. All goals, all objectives begin with an action verb that is observable and measurable and fall within the three domains of learning: affective, cognitive, and psychomotor. Number four, objectives are greater than or equal to. Number four, goal statements are greater than and equal to the objective. So an objective is a specific statement of what a student can do, and a goal is a general statement of what a student can do. Once the student has achieved the objectives, you can say they are competent in the goal. Number five, there should be no instructional activities on your DACUM. Instructional activities are related to the how of curriculum or the teaching of the curriculum, not the planning. DACUM is a planning tool. Number six, scope and scale. The objectives and the goals should be appropriate in scope and scale. So let's put this into practice. Here is a DACUM chart which does not follow best practice, and there are many examples of misalignment. So please pause this video and take some time to find the errors. I've also uploaded a PDF of this DACUM chart so you can make notes. So please pause and come back and I'll go through the answers. Great, welcome back. So let's go through this and see if what you found matches what I found. We'll start with row A. Right away I see a mistake. A1, welcome students. This is what the teacher's doing, not what the student is doing. This belongs on a lesson plan, not on a course profile. So explain basic safety, identify, describe, perform, explain. Here's an issue with alignment. Perform is higher in complexity than explain. B3, debate shelter sites. This is an instructional activity. It does not belong on your DACUM chart. Here's an error in terms of scope and scale. Set up frame. B2 is set up tent, and B4 is set up lean-to. To set up a tent and a lean-to assumes that you can set up a frame. Therefore, this is too small in scale and scope and would be taught when you're teaching set up tent. In fact, this is a learning task that falls under this objective, setting up tent. This is an error in scope and scale. C, evaluate weather conditions. That's really high in Bloom's taxonomy. It's a critical thinking skill. And these objectives, identify cloud types, determine wind direction, and describe weather indicator, all fall in the realm of knowledge and remembering. So this is much too high a goal for the objectives. Another way to think of it is the objectives are what you're teaching in class. So if you identify cloud types, determine wind direction, and describe weather indicator, if that is the type of things that students are doing in class, and then another way to look at this, if a student shows competency in these objectives, they're said to be competent in the goal. So in class, if a student is practicing identifying cloud types, determining wind direction, and describing a weather indicators, they will not have evaluated weather conditions. This is a major alignment issue. C2, watch video is an instructional activity. It's how you implement it, how you teach it, does not belong on your DACUM. D, use canoe strokes. Objective is perform a J stroke. So if your goal is to use canoe strokes and the only thing they've done in class is perform J stroke, you cannot say that they can use canoe strokes. They can only use one. A best practice in DACUM is that a goal has a minimum of 2 objectives. Okay, here, describe type of canoes. Describe is recall, and explain is understanding. Therefore, there is an issue with alignment. E5 is review material. Review material is an instructional activity which does not belong on a DACUM. Okay, so pull out your DACUM and review your goals and objectives in light of these best practices. Bye for now.